I'm back. We're going to do another unhelpful thought pattern, and this one is going to be, did you guess it? Do you know what I'm about to say? Did you read my mind? It's gonna be mind reading. We're jumping to conclusions. Most of us humans are not good at mind reading. Even if you were a seer, being able to see the future or future outcomes, you're reading energy, not necessarily like what will be based on free will and all this stuff, and that gets into a lot of woo. But what I'm trying to say is that most of us are not good mind readers. When it comes to thinking you know how your friend feels, if you say, no, I can't make it tonight, we start believing or making up scenarios in our head for how they feel about that, what they're thinking about us, talk about social anxiety. Like that is all mind reading, right? Because we're sitting there thinking, oh, they're focused on the stupid thing we did or said or when we tripped. And literally that person is not focused on you. That person is focused on how they said or did something stupid or embarrassing. We are not actually as worried about other people as we think people are worried about us, if that makes sense. Mind reading is thinking or assuming that you know what somebody else is thinking without actually conferring with them, without talking with them, without getting a confirmation of that from that person. You don't really know. You don't really know the outcome. You don't really know the conclusion that that person drew from whatever your action was. You were just guessing. Now your anxiety is spiraling around a guess, around something that hasn't come true and hasn't been stated to your face. Examples of this are like, he didn't really care that I was feeling sad or mad or angry, or she didn't want to date me because I was a nerd. Unless the person explicitly said, yo dude, you are a nerd, I don't like that, deuces. It could have been because you chewed with your mouth open. It could have been because she didn't like the book you were talking about or a political view you mentioned. But when we read into something that we don't have confirmation of, we can create a whole host of other problems. Instead of it being the actual problem, we're coming up with 10,000 reasons that we are terrible, and it just spirals. It's awful. I think this is especially key when you're learning how to tap into your intuition, because I think you really need to come from a place of what might be my anxiety and what is it that I'm hearing and feeling. Along with this, feelings are not fact. Yes, for some intuitives, a lot of times feelings can be fact or based in fact, but we have to realize that our subconscious behaviors and beliefs are shading the information that we're taking in. So if we are genuinely just body self-conscious and somebody is looking at us, we might mind read it and be like, oh, they think I'm fat. And really, they're looking at you and think you are fine as hell. One way to combat this, if you're kind of spiraling and guessing what somebody thought about how you did a certain behavior or acted or something, is to go ahead and take a piece of paper, write out 3 possible scenarios. The first one that we usually jump to is like the farthest reaching conclusion, and then come up with other examples, like why might this have been the way they reacted, instead of reading into that reaction. And I would say that using a distraction or like thought stopping technique like distraction would be more beneficial. So focus on something else, start reading a book, jump wholeheartedly into another activity so you can kind of calm your mind and stop yourself from coming up with made up fantasy scenarios that are not actually confirmed in real life at all. How often do you jump to conclusions? Make sure you follow for more of these unhelpful thought patterns and way more to come.